Hello, everyone. We are going to start our cybersecurity panel. I hope you enjoy, and thank you all for coming.
So, are you releasing me? Yes? More or less? Okay, to go now. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is João Filipe Alves. I'm the head of security unit at ANACOM, the national regulator authority for telecommunications in Portugal, and also the vice-chairman for the Comissão de Planeamento e Emergência de Comunicações. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of SINFO for this excellent initiative and for putting cybersecurity at the center of the discussion. Cybersecurity is no longer something happening in the background. It is now a fundamental pillar for our digital society. Today's panel is about reality, real threats, real challenge, and real solutions. We have a great panel combining perspectives from academia, regulation, and industry, which is exactly what cybersecurity requires. Let me briefly introduce our speakers. Isabel Praça, member of AI expert group at the European Union Agency for Cybersecurity, ENISA, and professor at the Instituto Superior de Engenharia do Porto, with a strong background in artificial intelligence and its application to cybersecurity, and a recognized track record in academia research and innovation. Welcome, Isabel.
Thank you.
We also have Carlos Antunes, legal team lead at the Portuguese National Cybersecurity Center and professor at the Nova School of Law, specializing in cybersecurity law and digital regulation, with active role in shaping legal and policy frameworks for emergency technology. Carlos, welcome.
Thank you.
And also Rui Silva, head of cybersecurity at Vodafone Portugal, bringing a corporate cybersecurity perspective with hands-on experience in addressing real-world threats and enhance organizational resilience. So, my first question will go to Isabel. From your research perspective, what are the most impact applications of AI in cybersecurity today? And where do you already see real world adoption making a difference?
Okay, well, good afternoon to all. I would like to congratulate the organization of this event. This is amazing and very impactful topics that are being discussed here, starting with cybersecurity, that is this panel. Well, we have nowadays a lot of applications of artificial intelligence in the domain of cybersecurity, some of them a bit more mature than others. And we see that most of the companies are already using AI for their cybersecurity solutions. I think that what I can bring here that could be more interesting to share with the audience is some of my experience that results from my research projects. I work a lot with industry on research projects, and maybe what could be more interesting is to give some examples of the application of AI and what it can bring to cybersecurity. One of the, I would say, most mature fields is in intrusion detection. We know, and if you are students on the field of cybersecurity, that we can spend hours looking at logs and trying to guess what is wrong there, what is abnormal into that network traffic, for example. And AI can help on that. That is a mature field with several applications, a lot of research into that area, where we can find models that can detect attacks by their specific signature, or can not simply, it's a complex task, but can detect abnormal patterns of network communications. But there are more complex or even more different scenarios. For example, combining what is physical security together with cybersecurity. And I can bring here some example as well of a project I had regarding security of airports, cyber and physical security of airports. And we had some pilots in big airports like Milano, Malpensa, like Turin Airport. And what was the challenge? The challenge was there are a lot of systems that support the normal functioning of an airport. The baggage handling system, which is an automation system, the passengers control, the ticketing system. And if you imagine, each system per se has a lot of information. And to have an overall vision of the airport working, we need to analyze data from all these systems. So the challenge was to look into the data coming from all these systems and to be able to understand when an incident occurred, why it happened. And it would be almost impossible for the human eye to look into such a big amount of information and to detect what went wrong and what was the starting point of the attack, if it came from the baggage handling system, if it came from the ticketing system. So we could do it with a machine learning pipeline to do that detection. Some other recent example that is, if you look, and I also have collaboration with ENISA, the European Agency for Cybersecurity, as João introduced it. Each year there are a lot of reports from ENISA about the main threats, and if you look, one of the main threats is phishing, that is usually exploring the human behavior. And one of the recent projects I had was for the public administration. That is one of the sectors that is most critical in these areas. That is, if you receive an email and the context of the email triggers some topic because it's something you are dealing with, or because it's some personal matter that triggers your attention, you can easily fall into that phishing tentative. So what we did was to use some of the most recent models, large language models, and we are using AI against AI to produce emails with the right context, and AI to detect the emails that were produced by AI. So AI fighting AI to try to find countermeasures for these kind of phishing attacks. And but we can go on with some other examples also regarding the behavior of the people. For example, if someone discovers your password, no one types your password exactly on the same way you do. The time interval between the way you type, the pressure you do is different. Even if you know my password, you will not type it exactly the same way I do in my laptop. So we did some models trying to figure out who exactly is typing the password. And if it doesn't fit with the rhythm of the person that is the owner of the password, it can raise an alert identifying kind of a second authenticator factor that this is the correct password, but this is not the correct person that is inserting the password. And these are some academic examples, but like I say, in all of these projects, we are together with different organizations and with different companies, and I see that but who is the best to speak about how reality from the companies are incorporating AI in their solutions.
Yeah, so let's move to Rui. So from a corporate standpoint, what are the most pressing cybersecurity challenge today, and what does cybersecurity look like in practice behind policy and theory?
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here, to be part of this panel, and really appreciate and really honored to be here. So, going to the cybersecurity challenges that we face in the corporate world, I think that currently, and as everyone sees, we have the threat landscape is evolving a lot and it's very dynamic. And currently, on top of this, we are seeing geopolitical instability, and this, not only we see the level of attacks, the type of attacks that are really evolving in terms of technology, in terms of using AI-driven attacks. We are seeing more and more. We also have the threat actors becoming very well resourced because they are becoming sponsored by state actors, by countries that have a lot of resource, a lot of capabilities, and this makes the challenge to protect the companies, protect the assets, protect the customers, is the most pressing, let's say, that we have to face today in terms of cybersecurity. Also the diversity and the way that we are exposed currently, not only to we have our systems in the cloud, so our attack surface is always growing. So we have each company, bigger companies that have presence around the world, also have attack surface that is increasing and it potentiates the risks. So we have to be always conscious of the risks, know exactly the risk that we have, know our attack surface very well in order to protect and to manage the risk very well. And I think this is well, in terms of challenge, in terms of what we have currently today, I would say that are the most pressing one. Of course, supply chain. Also, we are seeing also a lot of attacks on the supply chain. Very recently, we had pipelines, code pipelines being attacked with malware. So also the supply chain is something that we are seeing that is evolving a lot. And of course, the AI capacity, the AI-driven attacks are putting us a lot of challenge, technical challenge. But it's not only technical challenge, because we also have to protect, and as my colleague of panel mentioned here about the phishing attacks. So this is also a real threat, and it's one of the most high risks that we have to manage in the corporate world, because we have a lot of people contacting the world, and also supported by AI. The phishing attacks are becoming very well. So it's not so easy to spot on and immediately spot the phishing formats of the phishing emails. So this is also another pressure point that we need to handle in the corporate world, in the companies, in Vodafone in particular.
So thank you, Ruben. And now, Carlos, you will give us a different view from a different perspective, but more or less one of the most important perspective, because we have rules and we have legal frameworks. And what are the key cybersecurity and AI regulatory obligations that organizations must be aware today? And in your view, the organization are dealing well with this regulatory evolution?
Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the invitation to be here, and especially for the lights, because I now can say stupid things that I will not see your face reacting to it, because I cannot see almost anyone here because of the lights. João said that because I'm the legal responsible for the national authority, so I am the enemy in the end. So the legal advisors are the enemy, and I will try today to be your friend and not your enemy, answer the questions that João asked. First, I would like to say that we have a legal framework, of course, not only a national framework, but especially a European framework for cybersecurity and AI. Especially both of these fields are really under European regulation, so we need to do it in the European perspective as a single market. But I would like to start saying that if you stay by the law, if you stay just trying to comply with legal framework, you are doing the minimum things. So please don't be too dependent on the law, trying to understand what you can do to improve cybersecurity and to produce really good AI. And for that, starting with that, I would like to start with something that I say all the time. Understanding what is cybersecurity is understanding that cybersecurity is not the reaction, or not only the reaction, to cyber attacks. Cyber attacks is a small part of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, it's not a cost, it's an investment, it's a culture, and it's more than reacting to cyber attacks. It's cybersecurity, it's organizing systems and infrastructures and networks in a secure way that can protect people and good things in the end. So, when we are trying to understand the legal framework of cybersecurity, first of all, we need to understand correctly the notion of cybersecurity, the concept. Cybersecurity, it's a daily operation, and finding a vulnerability, it's not finding an attacker. And the search for vulnerabilities, sometimes, and maybe daily, it's more difficult than find cyber attackers. So, trying to understand the vulnerabilities of our systems and networks and how can we produce it in a secure way is what we want to do. And that's actually the framework and the legal framework perspective, not only in the European level, but also in the national level. If you see carefully, both European regulation and national regulation about it, what we want to do is to create secure systems and infrastructures and to have experts ready to develop, to analyze, and to protect infrastructures and networks. So the key concept of all of these is understanding and using the correct standards, the technical frameworks, the best practices, having a really good governance model to develop a system and to prepare an infrastructure, use the international references that you can use. So in the end, you can have a system, a network, you can have a digital product with the new Cyber Resilience Act, a digital product or a product with digital elements, to be more specific, that can be secure and can be used into the market and can be deployed to all. And that's actually what means to have cybersecurity, what means to have a system of governance for cybersecurity, what means to have a responsible of cybersecurity inside of our organizations. To define the different levels of measures is to understand and trying to balance risk with the cybersecurity culture. So understand the risks, and just to end the answer, that is actually a job that the national authorities, not only the National Cybersecurity Authority, but the Telecommunication Authority and other authorities, cannot do for you. So please do your job, okay? Don't put ourselves in a way that we need to do your job. We need to do our job. Please do yours. Your job is to put cybersecurity to function. So don't rely and don't think that you are here just to obey commands of a national authority. Cybersecurity is doing into practice daily in your companies, in your businesses, in your infrastructures. And you need to think in a smarter way what is the best way to improve the quality and the resilience of your infrastructures. For that, you need to study, you need to see what others are doing, you need to analyze the risks, understand the risks, understand how to react to the risks. For example, we talk about AI, and I think that I need to end the answer, but just to say this, you can use AI in cybersecurity for 4 different things. You can attack AI, attack with AI, you can defend AI, or defend with AI. And in your organization, you need to know how to do the 4 of them. So that is something that you need to do in a practical way. You need to understand it. So studying, evolving, have teams ready to understand new challenges is really important. More than the legal frameworks, of course, we have several. The National Cybersecurity Center will release in the next weeks several frameworks that you can use for cybersecurity, but that's just minimal measures. Don't do just the minimum, do the best.
Thank you so much, Carlos. It's a very clear view about that we have rules, and you touch something that is really interesting, that our attackers also use AI. So I move now to Isabel. How do you see this balance between attackers and defenders using this kind of technology, let's say like this?
Yes. So it starts that attackers don't obey rules. So it starts like that. They use all the technology without rules, without knowing what is the limit that we should not go beyond. Because as cybersecurity, you should know where to go and where to stop and report about it, and don't go more. And that is a problem today, because all this technology is available for the attackers. But more than that, the technology itself is a new threat, is a new vulnerability. Because as Carlos was also introducing, you can also attack AI. I don't know if you are aware, but there are several, some of them funny examples on the internet that you can find, where there are examples of fooling models, fooling machine learning. You can see some examples of some exchange in some pixels, some noise that is introduced in an image, and then a panda becomes a gibbon, and then someone with some sunglasses becomes a famous actor or actress. But more important than that, or more worrying than that, is when you have, for example, a traffic sign, and with some patches you can change what is a stop sign, and a model will not see a stop sign, but will see an information sign or a speed sign, etc. And that happens because AI can also be attacked. What can we do? We can work on the other side. We can work on protecting AI, on developing robust models, so models that perform well even when they are under attack. And that is a very active field of research, scientifically speaking. There are a lot of work. So if until now we were essentially worried to get the best models with the best accuracy and with the best precision, nowadays it is important also to understand what is AI saying. So other properties of AI, that go beyond this accuracy and precision, that go into the explainability of the AI, that go into the robustness of the AI. So at the end, we need to trust the technology. And for that, there is a lot of work that we can do on the AI side to build models that are more robust, more solid. That goes on by, for example, training the model with some of those adversarial fake examples, so that the model from the start knows and learns to distinguish what is real data from what is fake data, for example. And this said in a very simple way. That is a very active field of research, and I think that for cybersecurity students, it is important to have skills also on these matters. And with Elisa, we did a study. There's the 12 profiles of cyber professionals. We did a study on how is AI impacting these profiles, and if we started if AI impacts these profiles, and we concluded, guess what? Yes, it impacts all of the profiles in a very impactful way. So if there's any decision you have to take, any option you have to do, any subject that you can select to complement your career, to complement your course, go also for a topic on AI. It's a different language. Cyber and AI people don't speak the same language. It's difficult to understand each other, to take the best potential of what a model can do for you to really help a cyber professional. So try to bring it a bit more together to go and to face these challenges that the technology brings.
So thank you, Isabel. So, Rui, in your view, we talk a lot about machine, AI, and where is the biggest gap today? Technology, process, people. What is the biggest difference between a truly resilient company and those that are not?
Okay. Yeah. So I think the first thing to be resilient, to be a resilient company, you need to know very well the risk. So you have to manage the risk, to know the risk, so that you can anticipate and be prepared for it. Of course, you never have zero risk. It's very difficult to have that. It's impossible to have that, of course. But I think that first of all, you need to manage the risk, know the risk to anticipate it, and of course have to plan. You have to plan what happens in case of some event not planned. You have to know how to address it, how to respond. In case it happened, how to respond quickly. And of course, for this you have to involve everyone in the company, particularly the management. Top management must be involved in the exercise. You need to simulate and do exercise frequently. So everyone in the company must be aware, must be prepared to act upon any type of event that attacks the resilience, in this case, if it is a cybersecurity event. In terms of technology, people, or processes, the three pillars, I think that the major concern, I believe, is still on the people. If we have people ready, if we have people aware of the risk, if we have people that are ready to act upon, they know exactly what to do in case of an event, I think this is where we should focus. I think that the major gap might be there in a prepared company and another company that is not so much prepared, let's say. Okay.
So, yeah, thank you. So, Carlos, we talk a lot about new technologies. So this brings to our mind innovation, and one of the biggest tension is between regulation and innovation. Do you see regulation as a barrier or as an enabler to social? And in your perspective, looking to the future, what regulatory developments will have the biggest impact in the next few years?
The first question, I would like to start saying that regulation is not an alien invasion. So regulation is something that is produced by humans. So let's start with humans. The problem of legal regulation in specific, it's the lack of experts on legal tech. We are, and if we see digital decade, for example, one of the concrete remarks of the digital decade is to increase the number of technical experts in Europe, but Europe failed to understand that it will only be effective if you have legal experts on law and tech that are able to understand the technical fields of study, the concepts, and to do smart regulation about it. And I think that if you start asking the companies about it, they will say that you can have at least three types of legal advisors. The one that says yes to everything, the one that says no to everything, and the third one that it will understand what it is and will answer the best it can to improve the quality of the solution. The third one, it's really rare to find and really expensive. So to try to do that, it's trying to increase the quality of the studies in law and trying to improve the quality of legal experts in all companies and authorities so we can have better regulation. What is the problem of European regulation? It relies on concepts, and what we are seeing now is that concepts are failing daily. One concrete example. An AI system, high-risk AI system, will depend on the idea of intended purposes of the system. The biggest cybersecurity threat, it's not the intended purposes, it's the possibilities of the model that can, in an autonomous way, work besides the intended purposes. And you cannot apply the AI Act to the probabilities or the possibilities of the model. You can only apply the AI Act to the intended purposes of the model. So the European regulation failed to understand, of course it's I, Carlos, saying that, not the National Cybersecurity Authority saying that, failed to understand the concepts and the relevance of concepts in smart regulation. So yes, bad regulation can be a problem for innovation. Now, just to say, innovation is not just creating something new. That's a lot of new things appear that's not innovation, it's really bad things. And bad things are not innovation. So, innovation means the relationship between a good new product and a good purpose and a good application and for good purposes in society and for human development. If you don't have these combined, that's no innovation. Regulation, of course, remembers us that you cannot have innovation without security and safety, and for that you need specific standards and frameworks. That's the first answer. The second one, what will be the future? The future is the discussion on digital omnibus. We need to start discussing the digital omnibus not only in the legal discussion and the political discussion, but in the technical and operational level. So, especially the experts, the companies, the private sector need to say something about it and need to say, especially to the European legislators, something like that. We want good innovation, we want good products, and we know how to do it, and how to do it is just like that. So it's participating in the European legal process that will be the challenge in the future, to apply all the legal framework for good innovation. But yes, we just to end with this remark, a regulation, it's not a problem to innovation, it's a wrong idea. Regulation, it's important to have good innovation, but for that we need before to have good regulation.
Thank you so much. What a lesson from Carlos now. Thank you so much. And we talk a lot about people, and now trying to put everyone in this discussion. We talk a lot that Portugal has a strong cybersecurity talent. We have very good guys here in Portugal, and maybe we have also in this room a future very good cybersecurity professional here. If yes, what we heard some minutes ago is that you will be very well paid. You will be very expensive for companies to contract you, and probably you will leave our country, because this also applies to European and also to other parts of the world, that the cybersecurity professionals are very expensive. In all, as you saw, in all the fields of the cybersecurity, in law, the technical guys, even the hackers, they are expensive. The good ones and the bad ones. So we have some challenge in retain this kind of people here in Portugal. Why is this happen? What kind of what can companies do different? Are the education, the academia aligned with real world needs? So I give a quick round now. If you can share some concrete action, each of you, that you could prioritize to improve talent retention in Portugal. We don't have a word, you can start.
Well, I think we are aligned. There are a lot of collaboration, at least my experience is I have a lot of collaboration with the industry in projects, in collaborative projects. I don't know the secret to retain the talent. I know that that's good to be recognized as having good talent in Portugal, and we export good talent. That is somehow the recognition that we have good talent. But the way to keep it in Portugal, it's difficult. I experienced that with what I exist in companies looking for cybersecurity students, even before they finish the master. We have a master on cybersecurity. Even before they finish, there is a lot of companies looking for the students, proposing theses. That could be a start to be engaged with the companies by doing a master thesis. But I don't have the secret of that. Something I can tell you that I'm almost sure is, even choosing a career on cybersecurity, don't forget to have skills on AI. That is my last word.
So, Rui.
Yeah, I think that the market is I would say it's crazy. Yeah, the need for professionals in this area, in the cybersecurity area, is increasing. Has increased a lot in the last couple of years, I would say, and it's very difficult to find skilled people. But what I'd like to say is that, yeah, I think one way to tackle it is to build some type of academy and work together in close collaboration with academies, so that the people, when you leave when you finish your master or your courses, you can go directly to the companies and you have a place there. You have a well-defined plan in terms of career path, And we have that in Portugal. We have a program that we call the Graduate, which gives this opportunity in this very well established way to progress your career. But yeah, and I think that mentioned here what Carlos said, regulation is definitely needed to have good innovation. We have to have the laws, but it also, I think this is also causing some pressure on the companies. You know, they need to hire people, you know, to be compliant with the regulation. Yeah, looking for people and looking for the service to be compliant. This is also causing a lot of pressure. But what I can say is, I would say that cybersecurity has a lot of areas. Let's say it's not only for the technical parts, not only for the people that are looking for vulnerabilities or that are looking for attacks, that are anticipating, that are responding to incidents. There's a lot of other things that a cybersecurity professional can do. If you like more the process area, you can have a risk management area. You can have if you hire a development person, you can go for the secure by design, so you can protect the code, you can protect the project before going live. So you don't, when you think about cybersecurity professional, you don't think only about the person that is looking for incidents or responding to incidents. Okay, this is usually what we think about, but it's not on. So there's all the activities on cybersecurity that are key to manage risk, to keep the companies protected. And so there's a lot of opportunities that in your career path you can look for, and don't think that you will only be a good cybersecurity professional if you know all the vulnerabilities and all the attacks that are possible to be done. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ruby. Yeah, I think you are completely right. Nowadays, it's more expensive to have a cybersecurity lawyer than to have a cybersecurity hacker. So, Carlos.
Of course, I don't know the secret for having more retention of talent in Portugal. I think that it's something good, because if we are difficult to retain talent, it means that we have talent. So otherwise, if we had a lot of professionals with nothing to do, it's bad for Portuguese academia and market. But of course, we need to fight to have them here. Some ideas that I think that can improve. First is trying to work with young people before they decide what field of study they will take, to show them the importance and the good of working in cybersecurity and working in the technical fields, especially in Portugal and other European countries with women, because we have the majority of people studying engineering and cybersecurity are men. Maybe trying to improve the work with women is good, so we can have more professionals on engineering and on cybersecurity. Also about the companies, I think that something that I said before, if you think cybersecurity as a cost, you will try to minimize it. So you will try to employ experts that will cost less in the market, because you are thinking as a cost. If you think that cybersecurity is an investment that will improve the quality of your product, you will be able to pay more, because we will try to have the best working with you, so you can deploy a product with quality in the market. So changing from a cost perspective to an investment perspective can also help tech companies to pay more to experts. Of course, we need to have specific measures for SMEs, because they will have more difficulties to pay experts. In the end, I think that the third field that we can work in can help the retention or diminish the effect of this problem is to understand when can we put technology trying to replace human intervention, which means trying to understand the relationship between technical experts and technical solutions for cybersecurity. Because what we know now is that 80% of cybersecurity will be the same in the future, 20% will be new, and 100% will be faster. So the problem is speed. And to deal with the speed of reaction, we will need more technology and not more humans necessarily. So understanding the point of relationship between humans and technology, it's really important. I share these 3 ideas about, but yes, I agree with you. A technical lawyer, it's more expensive than a technical hacker because it needs to pay taxes. That's only the difference.
Good point, Kurt. So I think we have time for some question from the audience. No? One question? Okay. Which will be the next cybersecurity?
Hello, good afternoon. I was wondering what made you decide to study this particular field? What made you want to study and pursue cybersecurity?
Who want to pick this
for
one?
everybody or for
Yeah, everybody.
Well, I didn't start with cybersecurity. I started with artificial intelligence. That is my background. But then I had a project that was a very interesting collaborative project dealing with smart buildings. And it was the vision of a building where all the assets were important and some of them contradictory. Like you need the budget to the energy, you need the budget to the physical security, and you need the budget to the cybersecurity. And then I was coming from using AI on the energy optimization point of view, and I started to see that global picture. And after that, I translated my efforts from the application of AI to energy to application of AI to cyber. This was some 15 years ago.
Yeah, well, also my career didn't start with cybersecurity. So I work in IT, in a telco area mostly, and 10 years ago, more or less, I have in my project manager was one of the activities that I had. In my project manager career also, I had to I worked in cybersecurity team, and you know what I found out was that I found a group of professionals, of young people, really motivated for and really enjoying what they were doing, you know, and that energy and that feeling passed on to me. So and from that, and then I started to understand exactly the part of the risk and what it means to be cybersecurity again. Cybersecurity is not only about vulnerability management, it's not only about hacking, it's not only about incident. It's a whole world, a whole framework that you have to build together to manage the risk in a company. And this is what I would like, that this is what I found, and this is what made me passionate about it. And so I studied more, investigated more, invested more time on that, and that's where I am today. So, yeah.
I started to study the protection of fundamental rights on the administrative law, the use of technology in the way that we can protect citizens in public services, and I understood that we cannot do it without cybersecurity. So that's why I'm working on cybersecurity, because I cannot protect people without cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlos.